Good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Miller. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are
Oh,
you?
I'm good. I'm excited about what we're going to talk about today.
So am I, because it's a real
Mm,
turning point.
it's the launch pad, right? It's the journey has come to this momentous assignment.
EDOL 790 Prospectus. Do
Prospectus.
you remember it?
Ah, you know, um, I remembered having a lot of deadlines because I think we've shared, maybe not, I don't know if we've shared with this audience or not, but the deadlines, the calendaring, that's something that I personally struggle with and wanted to be sure I was on top of. So that's what I remember most. What do you remember?
I remember it
You
quite
remember?
well. I was kind of teasing, like, do you remember it? Like, how could you forget? But yes,
Quite well.
I remember feeling super anxious about who would be my prospectus professor
Okay.
because I was heard so much about the communication between your chair and the prospectus
Yes.
professor.
Yes, yes, because I think it's most common that it is not who would be your chair, right? The chair of your dissertation committee. It's more bringing in that other lens, that other eye, that objective teacher piece that we have to have, professor piece that we have to have going on.
So, were you anxious about entering prospectus?
Yes, most definitely.
Yes, I was
Most
too, because there
definitely.
was a lot of buildup for us.
Yes. Oh, yes, absolutely. And they kept talking about, they being the professors, kept talking about having this really tight uh, product at the end that will just help you to just move your dissertation forward. And so I was like, oh, this is scary, very scary. I wanted to do it right.
I wanted to do it right also. And it was our only class. So we were geared up to really just focus on the prospectus. Was it your
Right.
only class?
Yes, it was. But I have to say, for someone who, like myself, had, of course, was struggling with the calendaring thing all along and making sure that everything was going on and having all of these due dates where you had to get things turned in, I might have been slightly misled by the like, okay, this is just one class. And I was kind of like, okay, it's just one. I can just focus all of my energy on that. That's so great. Don't think of it that way. Just, don't let the air out, is what I was trying to say. Keep that breath in so that you are just be the importance of it is what you want to focus on. This is such an important class that they only want you to focus on this rather than kind of a sigh, be ready. Like just be ready.
Yes, I would agree. And we have a little acronym that we're hoping this will
Yes.
help the future doctors put all of this in perspective. And you actually looked up the definition of prospectus.
I did. I did. And forgive me, I'm want to go to my notes, but really it was the idea of you're building an idea to share with others to move things forward. It's kind of like this very intense plan, which when I looked that up, I was like, this it's all making sense. It's all coming together. And again, just reiterated the importance of it.
Yes. So our acronym is SAIL. Like you're sailing a ship. You are headed out for the journey officially.
That's right. That's right. And thinking of it from the perspective of getting such a great finished product, the final product from your prospectus will help you sail on and through that dissertation piece. So love that. Love, love,
it
love.
it really really will. So just put your head down. We know you're tired. We know you're struggling through the holidays, very likely. You're headed into this class, probably have a little anxiety. I think I ran on anxiety and caffeine for the entirety of the program, but you know what? Your body eventually readjusts when you're done. So just
That's right.
keep going.
That's right. And we got to share. I'm sorry. I'm so excited about this acronym. Get to the acronym. Share the
Oh, get to
acronym.
the
Start with
acronym.
the S.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes,
Start with
ma'am.
the S
Sorry.
for sale.
S, strategize.
Strategize.
How did you
Go.
strategize? Share.
Oh my gosh. Not only the timing, the calendaring, I let my family and my loved ones, you being one of them at the time, know this is going to be killer, this class, these next two classes, because I think technically they broke them up as two, right? Back in the day. I also set aside making sure that I had some extra time. I enlisted a couple of other students too, in particular. Shout out to Dr. Hollowell and Dr. Cano to read for me. So we'd meet and we'd exchange and we'd read and kind of give each other feedback, which was really nice. And then I also strategized how to have the conversation. I already had my dissertation chair identified at that point. And so, shout out to Dr. Penley, by the way. And so I kind of talked to the instructor, like, I'll be sure that you're seeing this first. And then am I okay to take this back to my chair and talk to my chair about it? How should I do it? I was not actively writing because of course you can't do that until you go through the IRB process. But I did, I was developing that relationship with my chair. So that was my strategy plan. How about you?
I too had Dr. Penley, and we had already established a relationship. He is phenomenal. If anyone's had the opportunity to work with him, can't
So
say
good.
enough good things. And so, my strategy for Prospectus, I wanted to meet with my professor immediately, who I had the wonderful Dr. Ainsworth. So, that was amazing.
Nice.
And they have a professional relationship. So, there was some synergy there that I could build off of. And the other strategy was very organized.
Yeah.
You're going to
Ooh,
have a lot of drafts. You're going to have
yes.
some feedback from your prospectus. You're going to
Mhm,
have some feedback from your chair. And
mhm.
once this is over, you're going to live and die by your chair and your committee. But during
Yeah,
this time, both points of view matter. So
absolutely.
keeping track of who is giving what feedback, which would lead us into the A. So first you're strategizing, and then the A in our S.A.I.L is align. So how
Yes.
did you navigate the alignment piece?
Yes. Yes. Okay, I had Dr. Guzman, so good. Oh my gosh, I loved him so much. And when I was working with Dr. Penley, it honestly, we went with what Dr. Guzman, what the professor who was in charge of my class was putting forward as feedback, which was so good. It was really, really good and a wonderful added perspective. And so then once everything was kind of turned in and finalized on each one of the assignments, then I could share with Dr. Penley. And that was something that Dr. Guzman and I set up. And I really, really liked it. It really gave me a clear path on whose information I needed to be aligned with. So I love aligned. I love aligned.
Yes, I did something very similar. And I think the only thing I would add, as you're aligning, as the future doctor, stay flexible.
Ooh, good one.
It's really challenging. You've done so many classes by this point. You're getting a little bit worn down, and then there might be small differences of opinion
Yes.
that feel frustrating.
Yeah.
Just stay flexible, keep yourself organized with the different feedback, and the perspective. And in our experience, the prospectus professor is the one you're following for
Follow.
790.
Yep, follow. Then there's time for the other after, right?
Yes.
Follow your professor's advice and your the feedback. Love it.
So you have strategized, you've now aligned. Everyone knows if you have a chair, who that is. The chair understands who your professor is. Now it's time to inscribe.
I love this one. You got to take this one. It was so good.
Right, right,
Right.
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 Keep
Right.
writing.
It's like the Rihanna song, right? Instead of the
Yeah.
work, 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 work.
Yes.
And now you're gonna write, and just keep writing
Keep
and
writing.
write again.
And I personally set times to write. Observe yourself when you're most productive and stick to it. So
I
for me,
love
that
it.
was the morning. It's quiet. The work calls aren't coming in yet. That worked for me. What worked for you?
You know what? I Mine was I would get through work kind of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, just making notes and pulling my thoughts together. But I was a Thursday night, Friday all day, Saturday all day writer. And I had the good fortune to be able, I had keys to my office. My boss said it was okay. I would go into my office away from the family. I'd order food. I'd put it in the fridge and I would just for as many hours as I could possibly sit, get through it, get up, go take a walk, come back. So a little different approach, but it was what worked for me with, with all my commitments.
Whatever you can be consistent with.
Yep. Yep.
If that's the plan, that's great. And so strategize, align, inscribe, and then finally it's time to launch.
That's the best one, right? The
Yes.
best
This
one.
should feel like progress. This should feel like finally, I have a product that has feedback from two esteemed individuals, and I'm ready to move forward with my chair and hopefully quickly forming a committee, right? So
Right.
anything else? I mean, this is it.
No.
You're
And
headed.
yes, and they're there. They've done it. The future doctors that we're talking to, you're in Prospectus now. It is going to be that launch, that whole process of putting together the information in order to share and have a plan. Oh my gosh, this is exciting. This is light at the end of the tunnel, right? This is good. This is good.
So don't take it lightly.
Nope,
You've got
don't take
one
it lightly.
class, stick to it, stay committed, do whatever you need to do to energize yourself. You have classes after this. We
Yes.
know that's a bummer, but it's
It's true. Yeah, but
it
that's
is what
okay.
it
They'll be
is.
good. They'll
That's
be
right.
good.
It is what it is. I pulled
Yes.
up, just side note, I pulled up my
Yes.
timeline from when I was in class,
Oh,
future
you did.
doctors, and I have these like squiggly X marks. And Dr. Johnston took a look at that and she's like, wow, you really, you
Yeah.
really needed that visual. Every step I needed to know that I was getting closer to the end. So
Whatever
decide
it
what you
takes.
need so you can sail. Let's
Yep.
go.
Yep. Love it.
Okay, good luck. Let us know if you need anything.
Yes, we're here.